Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ascend Academy. Tonight, we're going to hear from the amazing Melanie Wied. And without further ado, take it away, Miss Melanie.
Okay, y'all. I am Melanie Wied. I am a superstar consultant for 8 years. I did fix my hair, hoping and put lipstick on that it's going to take away from my nose. I had some skin cancer removed this morning, so don't mind the big nose. Hopefully it doesn't distract you and you get enough out of what I have to say. So tonight's training is on events, and this is the second time that I've done a training on events. I did one last year, and it was more of a general type of events. So this year, I've had a lot of people asking me, first, events are my jam. Like, that's my passion. That's what makes me super happy. I'm very good at it and have some pretty good systems in place. But I do two big events with my upline, my director, Tiffany Burns. And everybody always asking me, how do you do events with team members? And so that's basically what tonight's training is going to be. And I will share how we do it and why we do it that way. Because I've heard a couple of other people and how they do it. I don't really want to see my face so big, so I'm going to put it that way. And so that's what tonight's training is how you can do any event. Doesn't matter if it's like my events that are 24 days long that we do together, or if they're 3 days long. You can still implement this system that we use for any type of event. So the first thing that everybody knows how to get events, like through Facebook, word of mouth, going around to different craft fairs and stuff like that. So that's how we find our basic events. Tiffany and I do the State Fair of Texas, which is a 24-day event. We legit split the entire event 50-50. And what that means is I pay for half the booth, she pays for half the booth. We split the entire cost right on the middle, booth, insurance, parking, everything. And then what happens is that we have a spreadsheet. And Shelly, if you want to share that spreadsheet in there, you can do that. So, and I will screen share. Yes, and get that opened. So, can y'all see my screen? Shelly's nod your head. Can you see my screen?
Okay. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so this is the spreadsheet that we use. So we have a meeting before we're going to start buying stuff, and we look at our past records. So the other thing that we also do is everything is ran through one of our squares. For this event, it's all ran through my square. And then at the end of the event, we split the profits right down the middle. So it's not like, if Tiffany worked one day and made $100, she gets to keep that. And I worked the next day and made $1,000, I get to keep that. So we do keep our own cash, and we have to turn in our cash in a spreadsheet as well each night, but we can see that on the square because it's all done in one place. But before that, this is the spreadsheet that we use. Obviously we don't have 20s. I haven't updated, I just emptied it. And this is what so for instance, I actually know, like for the state fair this year, we have to bring 40 plugins each. So I will put all the plugins, the exact names of every product that I have inside of this that says that I brought it underneath my name. And this column, and I think it shows, like here are the bars. It shows exactly how many we were supposed to bring. So we then also are holding ourselves accountable to know you didn't bring all the bars that you were supposed to bring. So say for instance, for a la water, I only brought 15, but she brought 18. So then I was 3 short. And if we didn't have enough, then it really is basically my fault. So, so then we put everything in here before it even comes into the booth. As the event goes on, we don't, so obviously over the days, we have to add more product in it as we sell because we can't keep everything in there. And so before, like every morning or the evening, we send a text to each other and say, this is sold out, this is sold out. We also look at the square because the square will tell me exactly what was sold because it's in all the categories and everything. And I'm going to share that later. And so then I can go, hey, are we really that low on plugins? We sold a whole bunch of them. Do we need any more? And then I'm going to go in and say, okay, I have 10 more plugins. I'm going to plug them into the spreadsheet before they even go back into the booth. Does that make sense to everybody? So because now I can only see a little column of y'all. And so this is the spreadsheet that we use, and it has everything pretty much in there. And so we can clearly see, and at the bottom, it also totals the retail value and how many of the items that we brought. So like, for instance, this is the $40 warmers. And last year we were supposed to bring 14 each. And it would tell me whether or not I did that. And then it would also say how much, because that's just getting the booth started. As the booth goes on, obviously I'm going to sell product. We're going to order more. We're very, very blessed that we live next to a warehouse. So we are actually, because everybody keeps saying we're in this recession, we're buying very little and we can go pick it up because we can get orders here ready in about 2 days. So we did, and so that's how the spreadsheet works that I share. And if I were to do an event with anybody else, even if we were splitting it 50-50, I would 100% use this spreadsheet because this then allows you to, at the end of the fair, we then pull this spreadsheet and then we go, okay, so how many 55 warmers are left? And then we can see who brought what. And then I'm not getting stuck with something that Tiffany may have brought that's 10 years old, because then she's going to take that back home. So, but sometimes you do get stuck with what they sold because if there is, you know, only a few left and you were the one that brought the most. So if I brought 5 of these and we only needed 4, I'm going to be able to pick one first. So we legit like pick everything by the category at the end of the event. So at the end, and everything is boxed up, we kind of go through and say, okay, how many did you bring? And if you brought more, then you get to pick those first. And then we split everything 50-50 at the end of the thing. And then the diffuser. So this has everything. You're more than welcome to use it, make it your own and change it. This is really just a guideline. It needs to be updated because like we don't have, I don't know if this even has travel tins on it, but we don't have some of our other stuff. And for the bars, these reds were the new scents. That's how we knew which ones were the new scents, which ones were old. We bring everything in, even old bars, so that we could sell. And if it's not on there, we just add it on there. And so this is a working document for us for the entire fair. And it's legit how we split everything at the end. Without this, we wouldn't have any idea. You can see here, we live in Texas. And so we had to bring 120 weathered leather bars. We're not bringing that many this year. It didn't sell as well last year. And we have our Disneys. We bring the bricks and everything. So everything is all documented in here. And then I'm going to stop sharing because I don't know if there's a need that anymore. And so that's how we inventory everything in the beginning of the fair, as the fair is going on, and at the end of the fair. Now, I will say, I mean, and we've been doing it this way for a really long time. And so it's really smooth. In the beginning, when we first went to this, it was kind of chaotic and everybody was like, because we had another partner, so there was 3 of us, and you have to be very diligent and like putting it into the spreadsheet before it gets in to the booth. That's the biggest thing. And once you can figure that system out, then it will all work. Like I said, we do use My Square for it at the end. So we keep our cash and we keep record of that cash. And then any of the credit card fees, we split those credit card fees And then at the end of the year, when it's tax time, whatever that special form is, the 1099 or something, like I have to give her, like she is like an employee of me so that I don't get taxed on the entire thing. I meant to write that down. Matt knows that. That's Matt's job. He's the square guy completely. But we do send her a tax form so that I don't get completely taxed on it. And then she gets that for her tax records. So because we do it 50-50. And at the end, so somebody had told me, yeah, I split these events with my team members, and then I give them the PRV and then everything, and then they have to buy the product back. Well, now I don't have to buy Tiffany any product back, and Tiffany doesn't have to buy me any product back, because at the end of an event, depending on when the season is, you may not need your partner in the event to buy $7,000 worth of product. You may be like, we're about to go in a catalog change. I'm going to sit on my money and wait and use that money for the new catalog. So this way it allows you to not have to owe anybody any product, but getting in there and just making a system. I'm a firm believer if you are paying for half the booth and half the insurance and working half the days, then you should be able to bring in half the product. And if your person can't do that, then maybe it's really not for them, and you should do the other way that I do with my team members. So with my team members that want to come, for someone who is brand new or even just wants to start doing events and wants to come and like learn wordage and how to interact with customers, like kind of how the setup works and how it tears down. And, you know, it's a lot of work to do events. I always like say it's like this adrenaline rush, and then you like crash and you get like a hangover the next day. So it's legit very hardworking. There's a lot of hours depending on what your event is like. My event is from 9 to 9 and then 9 to 10 on the weekends. So it's long days, and we split the event. So it's 24 days. So I would work 12 and she would work 12. We did it once where we would like split and do half days. That's chaotic and doesn't give you any kind of time. But getting back to my team members. So if my team members come to the event and they don't have any product that they're bringing in, I allow them to take all the contacts. Now, I know that's a little scary because you're like, that's how I get my bread and butter and what's going to pay. You know, if the event didn't do well, then you're hoping that your contacts that you're going to get is going to work the business. So this is my thought on that. First, you're the leader and you have to train them how to do everything. We know what we're doing, and we can, you know, get other contacts easily, but these new people that are coming in don't necessarily know how to do that. So I'm a paper pen. I use these from the store. I collect everybody's information. When they come up to my register, I don't even like give them a choice. I just say, can you fill this out? And some of them will say, well, what's the prize? And really the prize is them getting on mailer every month. That's the prize. I don't know that, but that's the prize. And then if they say, well, do I have to? And I'm like, well, it's really just a warranty, especially if they bought a warmer, then it's, you know, if anything happens with it, then I have record that they bought it from me and I can help them get it replaced. So I'm a firm believer of this. I put these, well, I used to do Amy, I do project broadcast now. So everything goes into project broadcast and workstation. So I use this. So now if my team members are going to use these, and I'm not going to get any contacts, but I got all my profits from it because they're not getting paid. I don't pay my team members to work the booth with me if they haven't put anything into it. This is their payment because they're going to get this. And then your job as a leader is to make sure you teach them how to follow up, because they can take all those contacts, and you know that you're going to get home, you're going to input them in your system right away. You're going to start working them in the next few days and following up with them and telling them, it was very nice meeting you at the fair. I hope you liked blah, 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 right? So now you have to make sure that your team member is doing that. And so that's where, like, and you just need to be upfront with them and say, okay, I'm giving you this, and this is potential future money. You need to work it. If you're not going to work it, then please give me the contacts back, because I will. Like, you know, like I'm just a blunt, honest person that way. And so I will tell them how I do it. Hopefully that helps them build some sort of follow-up system, and you're training them then into a follow-up system. And then in a few days you say, so how many did you reach out to today? Like, hold them accountable to actually work those contacts. And you'll know right away if they are working it, because their PRV should start going up within a few weeks, right? Because if people are really liking the product, they're going to order more, and you reaching out to them, they're going to be like, oh wow, she really like got my information, is like asking me if I need things. You know, if you're letting them know that Hocus Pocus is coming out and like all of those people are the people that I contact. You know, last year at the state fair, I had over 500 contacts that I put in. That's a lot of people that I came in contact with, and I work it and I put them in my system, and they get follow-up mail, they get text messages, they get all of that. That's my future money for the rest of the year. And because even at my smaller events, like I just did TumblerCon, I've had 4 people out of state order from me since August. And that's because they're in my system. So like, if you're doing a good follow-up system at your events, and you're giving the contacts to your new team members, and you're telling them the fruits that you get from it, then they're likely to be able to do it that way too. So, and I also, Shelly, if you wanted to share this, I finally made a YouTube video before surgery of my pocket product sheet that I do. This is a goodie bag that I make for all of my events. When anybody ever asks me, do you have a business card or whatever, it has a product sheet that's folded up. It has a card in there about Scentsy Club, a wax cash thing. You can put a center of the month flyer in there. You can put whatever you want. For my bigger events, I put cotton balls, like the little cotton ball saying in there. And I also do a dish soap sample, because that's like, I'm really trying to get them, because those bigger events, they come from far away. So I don't want them to think they can't use me. So I kind of spoil them with this bag, thinking that they will, you know, because then I also can follow up and say, hey, did you like that dish soap sample? You know, so because if I don't necessarily get time to write down, because I do on the back of these, write down all the product that they bought, if I have time. But if I'm slammed, then all I have is their name. So that it will show you how to do it. Myra helped me video it. So that was her job to help me with that. And then let's see, I do all of at any event, I do all of my transactions through Square, all my cash, everything through Square. I like it that way because it's all in one place, and it does it. If anybody needs a referral code, there you can reach out to anybody in your upline that has Square. They can give you a referral code, and you can get, I want to say it's like the first $1,000 free in fee. And then you can give out that referral code to your new team members too. So I am going to share my screen again and show you my Square. So my Square, and Shelly, if you wanted to go ahead and share the inventory, you can do that too. I don't do this often, so everybody that is on this call or gets to watch this video later will be very blessed. This is my entire inventory, all the way, let's see, can I do it the other way? Or maybe not. All the way since I've had Square. So this has a lot of old stuff in it. It even has some warmers that didn't have barcodes. They had letters back in the day. So now don't judge me if anything's misspelt, because a lot of times I'm adding it very quickly if I don't have it in the system. So this would get you a very good start. This has everything. I have everything done in categories. So all the plugins have been updated because I had to do that. Now you will notice that over here, it says 27.25. That is already included with my tax. And in the spreadsheet, you can change your tax or take that out and not add tax, or have a tax button that you wanted to add your tax to. A long time ago, my director taught me that we round everything up to the next quarter, so that the only thing that we have to bring are dollar bills and quarters. So we round everything up to a quarter. I think she was taught by her upline on that. I don't know, but this has everything all in there. Now this catalog is not all completely up to date, so there are not all the warmers. There's a few bars because I had an open house that had some of them. So that's how it goes here. It does not have my discounts on the spreadsheet, and this one is like a different one that I use, but I usually have like one free bar, a free, like all of the bundles already in my discounts. So I will then show you. No, not that one. So this is what you're going to upload. And I don't know where it was. He showed me, but I don't see it now. You can change any of the pricing here, and maybe this is where the tax is that he put no, and then you can upload your own tax. But this has everything in it. Like you can see here, this damsel warmer, it didn't have a code, so that's exactly how it went into the system. This has everything that I have in there, and you can upload it, and I can show you how to do that. So you will then, okay, I have it written down. So you're going to sign in, and you're going to go to items. Let's see, will it show me here? Okay, I guess it won't. It says over here on the side, it was items and orders. I don't know where. Okay, here it is, items and orders. And then you're going to go to items. And then you will come over here and go to actions. And you will import the library. I'm going to replace my library. And then it's going to say from where. I'm going to say this and upload. So, and then I don't know why it's saying that. Continue. It's not letting me continue. There shouldn't be. We did it like 4 times. So maybe it's something. Confirm the square attribute match correct columns in the Scentsy. Yes. So you should not have that problem because you won't be like copying it, but then it will download everything in there. And then when you click on it, like, I mean, I have everything, like I even put just recently, we put in there because the license items were all like different pricing. So I put all my licensed items together so I would be able to go find it. Because a lot of times, like I know the name of a warmer, but I don't necessarily know how much it is. And so I can look that up at the event. Does anybody have any questions while I go over my notes? The spreadsheet, hold on, the spreadsheet that for the square, it has travel tins and bath bombs still on it. So if you don't have any of those, you can delete them. It doesn't have the travel twist. Okay, I can do questions.
Okay, so first question. When you're working with your teamies, do you also introduce the customer? Do you make sure that the new teamie is also introduced to the customer because you've collected their information, and then the other consultant greets and meets them as well, or do you not worry about that?
I really don't worry about it. I'm kind of hoping they're just going to kind of jump in and like be very interactive. If they're not interactive, like I'm really pushing that throughout the event. So, because then like if I am sharing, I try to make sure that my teammate actually has goodie bags so that it's really her information that's going out and not mine. So if even if she doesn't have them and she just has business cards, that's like something that we put in the orders because she's collecting the things. So I really try to push them to like work really everything, and I'm just really being their assistant. Like I allow them to work the register and everything because I'm right there, and I do like I'm very trustworthy, maybe because I feel like my system in the Square is like you really can't cheat anything. You legit have to scan everything, and the pricing is already in there. So there's nothing that they can really take or do or steal or anything like that. And so I let them really pretty much do everything. And I don't try to have anything in my booth unless she's only working like half a day. Then she'll get those contacts, take them out of the register, and then she'll get and then I would take over for the rest of the day.
You give them a copy of the order form as a receipt when they purchase?
No, because Square sends them a text message. If they want a receipt, I just send them the whatever Square does, because everything goes through Square in my events. I don't, even my cash, I hardly take PayPal or Venmo or anything like that because I really just want all my money in one place. Easier to keep up with, easier for tax purposes for me. So, and especially because I keep a spreadsheet on what my events did from year to year. And so then I can just go right there and look for it. So no, I don't do any handwritten receipts. They get the text message or email from Square. And nowadays, Square, if you're if you've used it and you put your information in there once, it automatically sends them the text. And if that pops up on my Square, I just automatically send it. Now, I can say that you can customize that text message. I don't know if you know that, but you can customize that text message. So that would be where if I had a consultant working with me, that it may get a little conflicting, because that text message will come and say, thank you for your order, Melanie Wied, with my phone number. So that would be the only way that they would get information, but most people don't even look at that, or it gets deleted off their phone. I mean, I do anyways. So, no, I don't send out receipts.
Okay. If your item that you purchased, one of your items there, if it ends up in the clearance section, do you pay clearance price? And also, if you purchase something on clearance, what price do you put it up?
No, I do that for personal items that go out of my house, but at events, everything is catalog pricing regardless of what I paid for it. If I am putting a discount on it, and I know, I will keep a cheat sheet at the register, and in my discounts, I have different discount buttons. I can say 50% off, I can say 40% off, I can say $5. I can put whatever discount. And once you get your discount set up, you can actually discount only one item. Before, a couple of years ago, you would have to like if I wanted something 10%, it took the entire order at 10%, but now you could say, I only want this item 10%. So that's how I do it. But I do get clearance items at clearance pricing at my home, like things that are going out that way, but anything at an event, I just automatically buy it and it goes on the shelf as a price. Or I decide what I'm going to do. Like the Christmas trees I bought, and I knocked them down and I just automatically put them on the next shelf down, because my events have a really nice setup and everything's priced together, and I just automatically put it there. So then they don't even really know. And then I just know that it's already in the system that way. So.
Okay. Say it's not the State Fair of Texas. How do you know how much to bring to an event?
So my goal for any event is to make 10 times the booth fee. So if you pay $25, then you would need, my goal would be that I would want to make $250. The only way you're going to make $250 is if you probably bring about $500 worth of product. So I try to bring about half of what I want to, like more than half of what I want to make, because obviously you're not going to sell everything, but you want enough there that is going to want people to come in and see. I don't down anybody for having a simple table. Just know the more products you have, the more you're going to sell. And like in the beginning, that is exactly how I started. Like a door opened for me and I ran through it, and it like is a totally different experience. But I legit started with my testers on the table and my scent of the month warmer on there, and grew. But I take all of that money from those small events in the beginning, and I 100% reinvested every single time. And I don't ever tell anybody on my team to buy warmers. You buy bars and you buy bulbs. That is what you need to have at your event the most of. And once I got past the tester table setup, I started with 3 bars of each scent. And then as it sold, I doubled it. So then if I sold 1, I would buy 2. And now I get up to where I try to have 6 of each scent. But I'm 8 years in, so this is my journey, not yours. So don't think that you can do that overnight. But that's how I grew over time.
Well, and I'll add to that. You'll start to notice what scents are popular in your area and what you'll want to have more of than not. So if you're like, I can't bring all my scents, then you'll know which ones.
Well, and like the thing that I like when I wanted to start, like I legit had 1 of each scent in the very beginning, and then got to 3, and then got to 6. But I know what I like, and so that's what I tend to buy, and I think that's what we all tend to do when we don't think, is weathered leather really something that people are going to buy? But in certain areas, they do buy it. And so like I tried to tell everybody, don't buy for your nose. You really have to think about buying for everybody else's nose.
Yep. And that's another good thing of doing your sales in Square, because you can go back and see, I love Christmas Cottage, but did I really sell that much of it, or did I sell something better? So, okay, how do you scan things on Square?
So I have the Square tablet, and whoever asked this question, if you message me, I can get, I can send it, or maybe can I send it to you, Shelly, of what I have, and then you could attach it to the video? Does that work that way?
Yeah, we'll just put it in with all the other things.
Okay. So, either way, so I have the Square stand and I have a register. So it's like playing store, and it's very fun. I think that's why it was that was my funnest game as a kid. Like legit, I had one of those registers and we scanned all the cans out of their pantry and went shopping. And then I have a scanner. So Square supports a few, it's not something that you would just buy. Like Square has them, but I bought mine off of Amazon. But if you go into the Square and look in like wherever you buy all the different products at, it'll give you a couple of different scanners that you can use. I know I gave it to April a couple of weeks ago, and so I know I have it somewhere of what my scanner was. So whoever it was, they can message me and I will send it to Shelly so she can attach it to everything. But it's a scanner that we bought off of Amazon, but not every one of them work with the thing. So it's legit, like I scan it, it beeps, it goes up there, they give me the cash, I push it, the drawer pops out. Like it's super fun and like fancy.
Yeah. I'm not as fancy as Melanie because my events aren't as big or as long. So if you're not ready to invest in the Square thing with the cash register, I have a scanner, got it off Amazon as well, and all of them have a USB, and you can get an adapter. So mine, I have a USB if you know all the terminology, to the USB-C, which is the
Yeah.
charging port in your phone, and then I can just connect mine to my phone and scan. So
Yeah. Mine won't connect to my phone, so you have to figure out which ones, because my scanner won't work on my phone, but it'll work on the thing, on the tablet. And so yeah, you just have to play. And there's times where I legit forgot my tablets and I had to do it all on my phone. So once it's in your square, like it's all there. The other question that I get asked a lot is, do you put your inventory in Square? I don't, because if you're not taking it out of Square for your personal things that you're just grabbing out of your own stock, then you're messing it all up. And when you look at it, so I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. And then the girls would go in there and go, I just took a body wash. I'm like, oh, like now it's not out of Square. So I don't inventory anything in Square, but you can. I know some people that do.
okay, how do you enter cash sales in Square?
How do I what?
How do you enter cash sales in Square?
So my tax is 8.25%, and I just automatically do it. So I know like a 6-pack of bars is $30. With my tax, it's $32.50. So
I think she was asking if someone's gonna pay cash. How?
Oh, I still give them, I mean, it's still tax.
There's a way to check out and press the cash button.
Yeah, you can just like I don't know, can I?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if to do that one.
Melanie, what she's asking is like, if they're like have that physical money to pay you with, how do you enter that into the Square?
Oh, I just punch it in. Like when you check out, let me see if I can before, let's see, can I do payments? No. I'm trying to see. So when I go in there and I scan it, I can't, because I don't ever do Square. Like Matt showed me this, I was like, this don't look nothing like my phone or my tablet. Like this, like it's way different than what it does normally. So whenever I scan it and I hit the checkout button, it'll say a couple of things. One, it'll say cash, and then I could just hit the cash and it'll say, they say it was, $18, and then I punch in 20, and then I give them the $2 change. So it does all the math and everything all in there. Does that help? Does that make it clear? Because it'll, like, you can either swipe your card, you can even do a split payment. So I've had people that were like, I just spent too much money, so I'm gonna do half on a card so the hubby doesn't know, and then I'm gonna give you this other half cash. So all of those come up when you do the checkout for Square at the final, once everything's in your cart. I just don't know how to do that from here. So show you, I could do it on my phone, but
yeah, there's a way to make it a terminal, but it doesn't look like it gives you all the options. So yeah, at checkout, usually it just says like payment is
yeah,
$32.50, and when you swipe the card, but if you click on that instead of swiping the card, it'll give you more options.
yeah. And when you run your report, it'll even tell you how much cash was collected. So then if you like know your cash drawer start, and then what, like, it'll tell you at the end, like you sold $150 in cash. And then you can say, okay, I'm gonna count my drawer and you should have $150 in cash.
I will say my favorite part of doing, I know Tiffany likes to wait, but I like to, when you have a lull in your booth, you can easily go into your reports and see how well you've done that day. So you can see.
Oh yeah, no. That is a big no in my book. Like, you do not jinx it. You do not look until you are closed and you are about to leave. Like, legit walking out the building. I am very superstitious that way, because Matt does that to me. And then we don't have another single sale for the rest of the night. And I'm like, you looked. And he's like, no, I didn't look. And I'm like, yes, you did. And then he knows exactly how much we made. So no, we don't look until the very end too. So
I love it.
Tiffany and I are the same on that.
Yeah, and I'm like Matt, I'm refreshing. I want to see after every sale. I'm like, what are we at now? Okay. Kenny Rogers told us you never count your money while you're sitting at the table.
Exactly. See, I don't count my money until the game is
To
over.
listen. All right, any other questions? This was super helpful. Sarah, I love it. Good old
I'm just
office.
looking at
You're not superstitious, just a little stitious. Love that
Yeah.
quote. Yeah,
I hope
great.
this helped everybody, like, really to bring your teammates in it. Like, my big thing is, even if you don't split it 50-50, like really teaching them how to use those contacts. Because I mean, it's just another way you can train your teammates to how to do follow-up. So if you give them, I know it's super scary to give them those contacts, but then it's really your job to make sure that they're doing the follow-up and be firm with them on that.
Okay, our last question from Cameron came in. Is it easier to keep all sales in Square or use pen and paper?
Square 100%. Like the report it runs is freaking amazing. Like it breaks it down to categories. So I can legit say I sold 100 plugins that day, or I sold 600 bars. Like it will, and then if I click on that 600 bars, it will tell me what the top bars were and go all the way down. It'll say you sold 50 Christmas cottages, 12 clean breezes. Like it'll tell me everything. And so then and it really is helpful for longer period of events that like I do, that I can then go that night and say, okay, this is what I need to grab, because obviously I can't have all my products sitting in the booth. So we keep a lot of product at home.
And I agree. Amy agreed too. I back in the old days before Square was legit, when we could only just swipe, and we couldn't really have a scanner, we would write things down on order forms. And if I was doing it with a downline, then we had to keep track on paper on the order form. And then at the end of the day, you're using your calculator and trying to total things, and then total your tax and then subtract. Whereas, yeah, Square does it all. 100%. I think anyone who's used Square would agree. All right. Any last bits of knowledge, Miss Melanie, you want to share?
I don't think so. Appreciate y'all. I hope this helped you get a little better about events. And I'm in a training. Teach your teammates. That's the biggest key, because it's scary to like talk to people and get them. So even Tiffany and I, we encourage our team members to come to the state fair just to get that, be comfort with the product and everything. So.
All right. Well, thanks
Okay.
again for still coming on and being a rock star. We love you. And I get happy healing, best healing, all the healing.
Just wear sunscreen so you don't have to do this.
Yes, I concur. All right. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow on Ascend Lounge. And then if you're part of book club, get your reading done. We'll see you later, guys. Bye.
Bye. Have a great evening.